just looping back to the topic, what we set out to talk about, is co-managed the future model for network management. I can see kind of where that thought process comes from, insofar as the other models, the managed services. Well, we know what the problem with that is: limited technology choice. It's potentially slow, clunky, it's inflexible, and of course it's expensive. In-house managed, well, all right, it's flexible. You've got wide technology choice, but poor blimey, if you're, a lot of organizations probably don't really want to skill up and staff up and resource up and technology teams, and that's hard to scale, hard to build, potentially lacks processes, etc. Build and transfer solves some of those, but you've still got to deal with that. So I can see why co-management ticks a lot of boxes. We used the term earlier on, best of both worlds, and it does feel like it has that element of, it's got the security of a managed service but has the flexibility of of that sort of in-house model. Is that where you see the market going over the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years? Do you think that's going to be the winner?
So I think it'll be driven by two factors really. So one, the MSP approach, the proposition to the market, I think will start swinging that way, because it's probably seen as a value add. So we can give you access to make these changes, and you can have a little bit more control over what's happening within your environment. We're just going to provide the transport mechanism and make sure all the lights stay on and everything's fed and watered. But we'll let you do some more stuff, and that's as a value proposition, it's probably quite attractive. The challenge is, and you've called it out right at the start, is that would require a different operating model for the customer. So it will require some investment in people and skills and capability within the customer base to be able to actually consume that as a service. So I think the market will start shifting that way, but it will still also offer, because it is basically still dressed up as a fully managed service. They'll still do everything, or they'll let you do some stuff, or you decide not to do it. You do everything yourself. But it will come down to the appetite around wanting to change the operating model and take more of that service in-house. I think for some organisations we are starting to see some of this, because it's happening in other areas, like cloud compute, for instance, and in security, and we're starting to see people build kind of a DevOps type culture, where they've got more ability to make changes themselves to the whole environment. I think as then things continue to become more and more integrated, and you're kind of designing things with security and network, in mind from an application point of view, it'll naturally, I think, start moving that way. But technology is probably not quite there yet to enable that to happen. But yeah, I think the general direction of travel will be a slow swing more back into giving the customer some more control over how things work. And yeah, obviously, as the next phase that we've talked about in the past, programmable networks, thinking of it as an API almost, then that's definitely when it'll start being factored into more of an in-house or development type capability rather than a traditional MSP type capability.